What's up guys, Jake Tech here, and today, here in 2020, we're faced with a very odd but serious question. A question we thought we could jokingly answer. A question we thought we could make fun of the person asking the question. A question we thought we would never even be asked. That question being, can your system run Minecraft? So guys, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about Minecraft, and more specifically the recent release of Minecraft with RTX, or ray tracing capabilities. So many videos, including this one that I'm making, are really coming across in a very jokingly manner, because we've always joked around about Minecraft being very unsophisticated as far as graphics go. It's probably one of the least graphically demanding games on the market. But it's one of the most popular games of all time. It's probably one of the most played games of all time. Those two go hand in hand, of course. And possibly one of the biggest games as far as revenue goes. So Minecraft is going through some pretty big changes right now as far as graphics. So Minecraft RTX was actually announced in late August of last year. So that's when we started seeing some of the videos from NVIDIA coming out, where it would show the difference between RTX on and RTX off. And I think everybody was very shocked to see all those videos, how good the graphics look with RTX on. And I think everybody was pretty anxious at that point, if they had an RTX card, to get their hands on ray tracing capabilities in Minecraft. So for those of you that don't know much about the RTX series of graphics card and some of the technology that goes into it, I'll quickly fill you in on it. I don't have all the details and knowledge about it, but you guys can look into it a little more for yourselves. So rewinding a year prior to the Minecraft RTX announcement, NVIDIA had launched the RTX series of graphics cards, which includes the Turing architecture, which includes real-time ray tracing, which is a really big step in technology as far as graphics goes. So ray tracing at its core is basically a rendering technique used to generate more realistic lighting in a 3D environment. And this is why in Minecraft with RTX enabled, you guys can definitely see a difference where the reflections are a lot different. You know, the shadows are much more vivid. Everything is just much more enhanced, and in Minecraft it gives it a crazy difference. So for this video guys, I just want to briefly go over the installation process and how to get Minecraft RTX on your system, along with some of the system requirements. And more importantly, we are going to take a look at the performance with Minecraft RTX enabled. So we're talking about what kind of frame rates are we going to see, what kind of temperatures are we going to see. And we're going to be using my system back there as the test subject, which is running a RTX 2060, which is considered a mid-tier card in some cases, but it is the lowest end card as far as the RTX capabilities go, and it's the most low-end card in the RTX product stack. So is it enough to run Minecraft RTX? And that kind of goes hand in hand with the intro to this video. Can your system run Minecraft RTX? Well, I guess we'll see. Alrighty guys, here we are on the desktop. I'm going to go over the process for getting RTX Minecraft on your system. It definitely wasn't as clear, and the process wasn't what I thought it would be. So I'm going to briefly go over how you can get Minecraft RTX on your system. Going over the system specifications. Basically, I'll go over the obvious ones. You got to be on PC. It's not on Xbox, mobile, or any other platform. So got to be on a PC, and you have to have an RTX graphics card. So the previous generations of cards, like Pascal architecture cards, like the GTX 1080, 1080 Ti's, whatever, they unfortunately aren't going to be able to use this feature. As far as I know, I have heard rumors that a 1080 Ti has ray tracing capabilities, but there's a very slim chance that they've released the drivers for that. So RTX card, and away you go. So first things first, you want to make sure you have the latest drivers installed on your NVIDIA RTX graphics card. So the best way to go about that is to have GeForce Experience installed on your system, which I'm sure many of you that own an NVIDIA card do. So here we are in GeForce Experience. You just want to make sure you have the latest drivers installed. So you click drivers. Looks like mine is up to date right now. I did update it recently, so I could play Minecraft RTX. So, but this is where you'll see if you have an update, and you can always check right here. And I have the latest game ready drivers, so we are good to go there. So that's step number 1. Next step is you have to sign up for the Xbox Insider Hub, which was kind of strange, and this is how you get Minecraft RTX. So basically, if you don't already have it, you're going to want to go to the Windows Store, and I believe it's under Insider Hub. Yes, this is it. So you're going to want to install Xbox Insider Hub. I actually had issues with mine. I couldn't install the hub, or it showed it was installed, but it didn't view. I actually needed an extra Windows update to show it, or something like that. It was something strange. So I updated my system completely, and I think it was under one of the optional updates that I had skipped previously. But long story short, I got it installed. So then you're going to want to launch that. So once you have the Xbox Insider Hub installed, it might have you log in the first time you go into Insider Hub, or I believe I didn't have to log in because I was already logged into my Xbox Console Companion. So you might not have to log in, but basically this is it. It has some different announcements here on the side, but you just want to go up to Insider Content, and right here it'll show up under Games and Minecraft for Windows 10. You'll click that. So once you click that, I believe where it says manage right here, it used to say install, but you'll click this and you have your different options. Minecraft for Windows 10, which is just the regular Minecraft, and then Minecraft for Windows 10 RTX. This is the public beta for RTX enabled Minecraft. So you'll click that, click done. That'll run through its install, and away you go. So once that's done, your Minecraft on your system will have the RTX capability installed. So then you'll just want to open up the game, and that's where we continue. Alrighty guys, here we are in the menu for the Minecraft RTX public beta. You can see our version down here in the bottom right corner. So from my assumption, when I first downloaded this, I thought I would be able to play beta. I created a test map for RTX just to mess around in. It is creative mode. I set that up, thought I could go right into it and enable RTX through settings, but I'll show you what happens. But as you can see, this is our new creative world that I spawned into. Cool, so far so good, right? But so I wanted to enable RTX, go to settings. I checked video settings. I didn't see anything new in here. But if you go to advanced settings, we have our typical fancy graphic enablers, our little toggle switches here. But here is the DirectX ray tracing switch right here. And it's grayed out, so we're actually not able to use it in some of our created worlds. I think there is a way you're able to do that right now, but I'm not sure how. And we have some, of course, your render distance, your particle render distance, and other advanced settings. But what you need to do to get RTX is actually starts in the marketplace. So back in the main menu, we go to marketplace. We type in, go to the search bar, type in RTX. And as you can see, these are worlds created by NVIDIA that support the RTX capabilities. Like I said, I think there's a way you can make your own worlds that support RTX, but I'm not exactly sure how that's done. I think there is some videos on YouTube showing you how to do it. I don't know the process for that, but basically, if you want to start playing RTX, they have these worlds available. You can download them for free, so that's what we did. But just like downloading a normal world, which I wasn't real familiar with because I haven't done it much in Minecraft. So I have those downloaded, and let's go ahead and load one up. Let's go to play beta. I already have one that is enabled, so this is the Crystal Palace one, but let's go ahead and make a new one so I can show you guys. And let's go ahead and let's just select this template. This is one of the new worlds we downloaded. And before we jump right into RTX, I actually want to turn the setting off to show you guys some of the performance. Alrighty guys, so we are spawned into our RTX enabled world, and as soon as I spawned in, I actually turned off RTX. I basically just want to show you guys the performance of our system, and we're going to kind of talk about that real quick because I want to show you guys the frame rates I'm getting, the temperatures I'm getting before we enable ray tracing. So that's kind of part of our test here. But as you can see right now, it's really hard to see in our little window to the left of my window that I'm in, but our i5-8600K is running right around 50C, and our graphics card is right there with it. They're very similar temps, so our performance is pretty good. Our frame rate is right around 93. So let's talk about my system a little bit too. I mentioned we are on a RTX 2060. It's not the Super, it's just a regular 2060, and it's a Founders Editions card. So even though it's not a blower style card like the old Founders Editions card, it might run a little bit hotter because it doesn't have a custom cooler like the board partners cards. But as you can see, it's running pretty cool right now. We're getting good frame rates, so everything looks pretty swell. And like I said guys, we're not using RTX yet. I'm going to show you guys how to do that in just a moment. I just want to go over the performance and what we're getting on just stock Minecraft. But this is one of the NVIDIA created worlds, which is pretty neat, and especially when you go into RTX. But as you can see, at 92, 93 frames per second, all my inputs are super quick. And a little disclosure too, I have tried RTX, so I kind of know what the results are going to be with my setup. And another portion of this setup too is that I am running a ultra wide panel. This is the Alienware AW3418DW. It's a 21:9 ultra wide. It's a 3440 by 1440p panel, so it's definitely a hefty monitor to run, especially for a mid-end or a lower-end graphics card. But as you can see, it handles Minecraft very well. We just had a little frame rate drop for some reason, but temps are still good. Everything looks good. Everything is feeling pretty smooth. So I'm gonna go back into where we spawned in, and I'm gonna go ahead and enable RTX. I'll show you guys how to do that, because this is one of the opening rooms when you spawn in. So to enable RTX, you're just going to go to settings. We're going to go to advanced video, and DirectX ray tracing is the setting we're looking for. I'm going to definitely tamper with our rendering distance a little bit, because I don't think our system's going to be able to handle this. In fact, I know our system's not going to be able to handle very maxed out chunks and rendering distance. So let's go ahead and click it and see what it brings us to. I'm going to turn this down a little bit as far as our particle rendering distance, because I think that'll help us out. So, and as you could maybe see in the background, we had some changes made. Alrighty guys, so I enabled RTX, and I actually took it off the screen recording we had going through OBS. It's just a little much for my system to handle, and the screen recordings really didn't turn out too well. So I want to show you me playing this game, showing you how it looks and kind of the overall performance. As you can see, our frame rates took a huge hit. We're down anywhere from, I'm seeing mid 30s to low 40s, which is better than I saw the other day. The actual maps might make a huge difference, but this actually doesn't seem to be running too bad from what I was dealing with the other day. This actually feels pretty smooth, but like I said, our frame rates are pretty dang low. I mean, we're running around 40 frames per second, in the 30s pretty regularly, and our system temps have gone way up, while our CPU temp has actually come down because more stress is being put on the graphics card. with this new ray tracing technology. So we have 100% load on our GPU, and it's brought it up to 66C, which actually isn't as bad as I saw the other day. The other day I saw around 71 or 72, which still isn't bad, but for Minecraft it is putting a lot of stress on a system. But as you can see, it is very cool. The lighting is just much different than typical Minecraft. The biggest thing that gets me about the performance hit, it's not so much the movement, but it's the input lag. So whenever you click, there is a slight delay. It might be kind of hard to see on camera. With the testing and playtime out of the way, so what is the overall verdict for Minecraft RTX? Was it worth the wait? Is the experience decent? And what kind of performance did we end up getting out of our system? Starting off with the pros, this probably is the most pleasing experience anybody could ever have playing Minecraft as far as graphics goes. Minecraft went from only having 2 texture maps now up to 4, which are much more enhanced and in depth when it comes to technology. Previous texture maps only dealt with color and opacity, but now Minecraft has applied 4 new texture maps to every texture in the game, such as a metallic map to give shininess to metal objects in the game, and a emissive texture map which deals with light transmission and glow of certain objects in the map, a roughness map for improving jagged and imperfect objects, and lastly a height map for giving some textures a little more three-dimensional appearance in the game. These are all such fantastic enhancements to Minecraft, but at what cost does the user have to pay in terms of performance to implement real-time ray tracing? As expected, there is a very large performance hit, maybe a little bit larger than most of us expected. As most games with RTX enabled, we notice anywhere from 25 to 50% decrease in performance, while with Minecraft, we've noticed a even larger decrease in performance in some cases. So here we are, guys, at our first chart. I'm going to kind of go over some of the numbers we got along with the way I have the chart organized. So this is a chart displaying Minecraft RTX on versus RTX off. As you can see, we have our average FPS, our minimum FPS, and maximum FPS on this chart, and they're labeled in different colors. We have the average as the blue, we have the minimum as the apple green, and then we have the max as the teal color. And as I've mentioned throughout this video what hardware we are using, I just wanted to make sure you guys know what we are doing all of our testing on, so I have it labeled here as well, as I'm sure you've seen it and heard me say it in a couple other instances of this video, but just want to make sure we're on the same page. And another disclosure, I do understand that this is kind of an unreasonable test, as we are taking a low-end RTX graphics card and really demanding a lot out of it, more than other people are even willing to test. So we're taking a low-end card, trying to have it power not only Minecraft RTX, but we're trying to have it power it on a 1440p ultra-wide display, which really isn't reasonable, but this is my daily setup and I wanted to see how it would perform and if it was doable. And as expected, it is doable, but it's not the most comfortable, best gaming experience we could have. As you can see, our average FPS with RTX disabled is about 3 times higher than RTX enabled. So this leaves our stats pretty ugly with RTX enabled, and this is with DLSS on. I ran all my tests with DLSS enabled due to the fact that from other tests that I've seen, Minecraft definitely favors DLSS with ray tracing enabled, as I think if we turn DLSS off with RTX enabled, I think our game would have been unplayable. So some of the best frame rates we saw with RTX enabled was actually outside when we first spawned into the RTX map, when I first turned on RTX. So this could have been due to a couple factors, one being it was pretty early in the amount of time that we spawned in and turned on the setting, so the graphics card might have not reached its peak temperature, giving us a little bit better frame rates as it was a little bit cooler. And also the fact that we were outside and the game probably was rendering a little bit less texture details from some of the indoor settings in this map. Some of the worst frame rates I saw was actually indoors in one of the kind of wooden styled hallways. We saw our lowest frame rates were around 22 FPS. As I've mentioned before, whenever benchmarking or doing any sort of FPS testing. A lot of it can vary just depending on the game and the map environment that you're currently in. And Minecraft is definitely no exception to this rule, as myself and many other people doing benchmark testing are experiencing the same thing, where they're getting much different results on different maps and in different settings within the map. Alrighty guys, as far as temperatures go, I'm going to kind of skim through this real quick, as there's not a whole lot to talk about. In Minecraft with RTX disabled, we get a pretty steady temperature of around 54°C. Then with my RTX enabled, we're looking at temperatures around the 70°C mark, which is a little toasty for my taste, especially when it comes to playing Minecraft, but it just goes to show you the amount of performance needed along with the amount of stress that this technology puts on a system. So my final consensus on Minecraft RTX is I think it's really cool. I think this is probably the most interesting, exciting title that we've seen real-time ray tracing implemented in. I think in order to make it more consumer friendly, it's just going to take some time for the developers at Microsoft and Nvidia to optimize the game a little bit better on Microsoft's end, and maybe Nvidia releasing some different drivers. As far as choosing hardware goes, if somebody came up to me and said, "Hey Jake, I'm looking to get into Minecraft RTX. I don't yet have a RTX card. Which card would you recommend for me?" I would say this mostly is going to depend on what type of display you're looking to run. 1080p across the board, the RTX cards can pull it off. Of course, the more high-end cards giving you more comfortable gaming, and even the 2060 will still get you around 50 frames per second on average when it comes to Minecraft RTX. Stepping up to 1440, the 2060 can do it, but it's not the best experience. So I would definitely recommend going with at least a 2070 Super, as this will give you a pretty good gaming experience on 1440, getting you pretty close to that 60 frames per second mark. And 4K, well, it's kind of out of the question at this point. From many of the tests I've seen and researched, it seems like even the cards like the 2080 Ti are struggling to hit 50 FPS on average. A 2070 Super has definitely proven itself to be a great card as far as price to performance. And in this use case, I feel like it is probably the best option as far as the price goes for the amount of FPS you can get out of that card. And you can definitely get very comfortable 1080p gaming along with some 1440p gaming that's also pretty exceptional. Now if you have a little bit more room in your budget to go up to something like the 2080 Super, it sounds like the performance is pretty marginal when it comes to higher FPS in Minecraft with RTX enabled. Most people are seeing around a 10 FPS increase from a 2070 Super to a 2080 Super. Whether or not it's worth the extra money, it kind of comes down to the consumer. That is going to conclude this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information on how to install Minecraft RTX, along with what kind of hardware you're going to need to power Minecraft RTX. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more tech related videos, make sure to subscribe. As always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.